Bray Wyatt's WWE career was heartbreakingly cut short, but he created an array of indelible moments that will both horrify and delight fans for decades to come. These are just a few. After being absent from WWE programming for a few months, Bray Wyatt teased a return with a series of April 2019 vignettes. They included creepy puppets, indicating a new take on his character. By the end of that month, Wyatt's bizarre version of a children's show, Firefly Funhouse, debuted. A few weeks later, Wyatt told his puppets he had something to show them. It was a secret he'd been working on, and he needed the help of all his fireflies to bring it out. He then transformed into the Fiend, wearing a mask that still haunts nightmares to this day. The Fiend remained confined to the Firefly Funhouse bits until July, when he appeared in the ring on Raw to attack Finn Balor, briefly showcasing the mask to the live crowd, seemingly appearing out of thin air to hit his opponent with a Sister Abigail. The two would go on to face each other at SummerSlam, where the Fiend would make an unforgettable entrance. The lighting in the arena helped make his live debut even more terrifying, generating holy sh** chants from the audience. It's a chilling sight to go back and watch to this day.
Yowie wowie!
If you thought the Fiend's mask was pure nightmare fuel, Wyatt only added more to the fire when he came out with a lantern resembling his own severed head during his SummerSlam 2019 entrance. Wyatt had carried a lantern as part of his entrance for years as his Eater of Worlds cult leader character, but this was something much scarier. The gruesome accessory had Wyatt's trademark locks with its eyes sewn shut. It seemed to symbolize the death of Wyatt's previous character. It was so gruesome that WWE edited its original YouTube video of his debut to not show the lantern. After the initial shock of it at SummerSlam, Wyatt wasn't seen with the severed head lantern again until October, when he wrestled Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel 2019. The Fiend captured the WWE Universal title by defeating Seth Rollins in a Falls Count Anywhere match at Crown Jewel 2019. Shortly after winning the championship, Wyatt revealed a new custom belt on a Firefly Funhouse episode on SmackDown, to the horror and amazement of the fans watching. The belt featured an image of Wyatt's demonic Fiend alter ego's face on the front, mouth agape, yellow eyes. The belt almost looked as though the Fiend's face was being pulled away. The words hurt and heal adorned the sides of the title. The handcrafted belt was created by Tom Savini Studios, which had also created the Fiend mask and severed head lantern. Savini is a legendary horror makeup artist, having worked on the original Dawn of the Dead and the original Friday the 13th, among many other films. Bray Wyatt took his 2019 feud with The Miz one step further by invading his home, bringing all of his Firefly Funhouse puppet friends to play with Miz and his wife Maurice's daughters. In one segment, Miz and Maurice see the Funhouse puppets in one of the girls' cribs on a baby monitor before running into the room. The Fiend himself didn't appear in these segments, instead leaving the job to Bray's unnerving children's show host. That was terrifying enough, especially for the parents watching. Before the debut of The Fiend, Wyatt laid the groundwork for the characters on WWE's YouTube channel in their Superstar Ghost Story series. In 2015, Wyatt told a story he said was from his childhood about the man in the woods. Wyatt explained that Sister Abigail rescued him and his siblings, taking them to a cabin in the middle of nowhere. Abigail told them to beware the man in the woods, for he is the Eater. Wyatt said one day he and his brothers were in the woods when they heard what they thought was a bear, but the noises the creature made were getting louder. Wyatt's brothers fled, leaving him alone. Wyatt described seeing a tall being on 2 feet with long yellow hair and yellow eyes like a cat. It reached out to him. He explained he went back to Abigail in the cabin, who remained calm and said Wyatt himself was the man in the woods. Years before the debut of The Fiend, it seemed like Wyatt was describing a version of the masked monster. Other WWE superstars just told ghost stories in the YouTube series. Wyatt advanced his story. Bray Wyatt could even make a commercial pretty scary. In a series of promos for WWE on Fox called Wrestling with Your Feelings, The Fiend could be seen sitting in a psychologist's office with then Fox Sports host Rachel Bonnetta playing doctor.
How are you feeling lately?
The tone of the commercial quickly changes from humorous to scary, with the lights going out as Bonnetta disappears and the Fiend moves from the patient's couch to the psychiatrist's chair. He covers his ears to drown out the creepy noises, as well as the sound of his own laughter. Many more eyes saw the commercial than the loyal WWE audience, taking the Fiend mainstream. Who knows, maybe some of the people who saw the ad actually did tune in to see this nightmare character and all the terrifying things he brought to SmackDown. Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker squared off at WrestleMania 31, and the build to the match helped solidify Wyatt as a master of horror and an incredible storyteller. The Undertaker was absent for pretty much their entire feud, leaving it all up to Wyatt, and he pulled it off. One of Wyatt's shining moments came when he did The Undertaker's entrance himself at WWE Fastlane in 2015. The druids, gongs, and smoke are nightmare fuel enough as it is when Taker does it, but it was extra eerie when it was revealed to be Wyatt popping out of that coffin. He sat up grinning from ear to ear, knowing he tricked the fans into thinking they were actually going to see the Phenom himself. The fact the build to this WrestleMania match was basically one-sided, and Wyatt was able to do so much and get the fans so invested is just a testament to his creative genius. Every WWE fan who watched Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins' 2019 Hell in a Cell match has an opinion about it. It's been called the worst Hell in a Cell match for several reasons, including it ending in a referee stoppage despite being a hardcore match. Some also complained that The Fiend came off as invincible because he took such a beating from Rollins and kept getting up, but that was kind of the point. Stomp after stomp, chair shot after chair shot, The Fiend kept kicking out of whatever Rollins had to give, seemingly totally unstoppable. The ref finally called the match in The Fiend's favor after Rollins attempted to destroy Bray's with a sledgehammer in between some steel chairs. The Fiend rising again and again, even after officials attempted to stretcher him out, was terrifying to watch. It may not fit every fan's definition of a great match, but it was some truly scary character work. Prior to getting inside the cell with Seth Rollins, Wyatt played mind games with him, as well as the fans. During a match between Rollins and Roman Reigns on an episode of SmackDown, the lights went out in the arena. Wyatt appeared from a hole in the ring to hit Rollins with a mandible claw and drag him through the ring with him, presumably all the way to hell. Fans, of course, know what's really beneath a WWE ring, but there was something about this segment, thanks to the utter genius of Wyatt, that had us believing Rollins really was taken down into the depths. It was a very fitting way to set up their Hell in a Cell match.
Hell in a Cell is awful. It's terrible. It's really painful, horrible structure that shouldn't exist at all.
One of Wyatt's biggest rivals throughout his WWE career was Randy Orton. Opinion is divided, let's say, about their House of Horrors match from Payback 2017, and Wyatt and Orton's WrestleMania 33 match in which bugs were projected onto the ring is positively infamous among fans. Things got better and scarier in their second feud, which came in 2020. An absolute highlight of that feud was Orton setting Wyatt ablaze in the Firefly Inferno match at the TLC pay-per-view. To win, one man had to set some part of their opponent on fire, so you'd think the match would be Orton's to lose. He did come very close after Wyatt shoved him onto a chair and flicked a lighter at him, but Orton managed to escape. Orton then countered a mandible claw, pushing the Fiend into the fire surrounding the ring and completely lighting him on fire. The most terrifying part was the image of Wyatt still standing, back aflame, sliding back into the ring, and seemingly back into the fight before getting hit with an RKO. After the match, Orton poured gasoline onto the Fiend and lit the match, leaving him burning in the middle of the ring. The image is surely etched into the minds of Wyatt fans everywhere, and it remains a major highlight of the Thunderdome era of WWE. In July 2020, The Fiend targeted and attacked Bliss on an episode of SmackDown, kickstarting her transformation into a twisted, Fiend-inspired character of her own. She started doing his Sister Abigail finisher in her own matches, as well as appearing with Bray in the ring and on episodes of Firefly Funhouse. Following Wyatt's release from WWE later that year, Bliss continued portraying the character, hosting her own playground segments featuring a creepy possessed doll named Lily. It took multiple therapy segments and Charlotte Flair ripping up Lily to help revert Bliss back to her previous self. When Wyatt returned to the company in 2022, hints that Bliss could return to her Alexa's Playground character started up, with many wondering if she would be reunited with Wyatt and the newly introduced Uncle Howdy. Sadly, with Wyndham Rotunda's passing, we never found out exactly what the plans for him and Bliss were.